Hello everyone, it's Justine. Today I'm going to be making a 5x7 card using the Club Blooms die, which is the large die of the month for January from Spellbinders. And I'm also going to pull in a stamp sentiment here from the add-on stamp set for January. So I just have this simple thank you sentiment, and I love the font. It's just gorgeous. So I've gone ahead and die cut out all of the pieces to make my floral arrangement. And when I do anything like this, I typically go overboard with my die cutting machine and just make so many because they're just so cute and pretty. So my bouquet ended up being really big and it would not fit on an A2 size card very well. So here's the A2 size card base, and you can kind of see it would kind of be too big. So you don't have to make it as big as I am here. You could definitely make an A2 size with just less greens and less flowers, but I just thought, why not go big? So I did. Here I have my cluster kind of all set up for my card. I kind of have to arrange it so nothing really sticks out because I don't really want anything sticking out of the edge on this card this time. So I'm just going to remove, oh boy, I think I need to move in this bottom leaf here and the other leaf on the other side. So you can see that I'm using this yellow craft tape, and it's called the Best Ever Craft Tape. And I know in my small die of the month video that I just made here, I said that I like to use the purple craft tape better or more, I guess, than the yellow for doing this technique where it's stuck down because it's not as sticky. But this yellow has been used over and over and over, and so it is less sticky right now. You can also use Glad cling wrap. I have not tried that, but I've heard many people use that and it's worked well, so just thought I'd throw that out there. Now this little leaf I need to move somewhere else because it is covering up my sentiment, so I'm just actually gonna rip it. I'll cut it and put it somewhere else. Still use it, just not where I want it. Yes, you can cut your dies, your die cuts. You don't have to go with the exact shape that comes with the die. You can arrange and modify like so. This did take quite some time to die cut out all these pieces, but because I have the Platinum 8.5 inch die cutting machine from Spellbinders, it did take me less time because there is more surface area for die cutting. It's the 8.5 inches versus the 6 inch, and I just kind of kept cranking and cranking and cranking, and all of a sudden I had all these pieces. So I had to make a rather large bouquet because they're just so pretty. I suppose I could have made a couple smaller A2 size cards, but I thought, you know, this is just pretty in one big bouquet. Okay, now I'm ready to add my die cuts on. So I'm just going to be adding some glue to the main areas, and then I'm going to flip over this whole bouquet over onto my card, and then I will gently peel off the tape, and I hope that everything will stick and it'll be all fine and dandy, but chances are things are going to move just a little and it's going to be just fine. I'm also not going to be particular about gluing every single leaf section down, especially for the ones that are small like this one. I'll just kind of hit some of the major ones, and if some kind of pop up, if you will, that's okay. It adds dimension, and I don't know, I'm just not the person to sit there and glue every little section. Plus, I think the glue would probably dry by the time I was finished with all of that fussiness, but I suppose you could do it with the fine tip nozzle on the glue bottle, but Not I, said the fly. Okay, we're gonna flip it over. By we, I mean I am going to flip it over like this. And voila, there we go. I'm just gonna gently press down and hope that the glue is doing its job. Now I do have some of these smaller flowers on the top that were obstructed by the large flowers on the back, so they definitely did not get any glue on them yet. So when I release the tape on the front, I'm going to have to maybe do a little bit more gluing, and that is just fine. Like this little pink one here. And that one is going to need a little bit, but you can see nothing ripped, which is great, but you know, just be cautious. I will say, if you're doing that method of the release tape on and gluing, be very careful if you have something that is glimmered. Some of the tape and the adhesive will take off that glimmered area with just that motion of lifting it up. So be very careful. I would hate to have you ruin your glimmered area. But, you know, if that happens, it might be a happy accident, as Bob Ross says. So some of my flowers have that, I'm using that pearlized paper. So I'm not going to add the Wink of Stella to the pearled papers, but I will to my plain papers. So if you don't know what Wink of Stella is, it is it's in a water brush pen, but it's from Zig, and it just has a little bit of fine glitter and just shimmers around and adds sparkle. I'm not being very precise, as you can see, just putting it on the paper, and the glitter will land where it needs to. There we go. And that is my finished card. I haven't made a ton of, oh, this little guy's running. I haven't made a ton of 5x7 cards, but I have made a few, but they are rather big. So I know some people exclusively only make 5x7 cards, and some people just don't, and that's fine, but to each their own. And that's kind of the best part about card making, is kind of making projects your own, making art, spreading cheerfulness. There we are. So here's a look at my finished card. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked the card, please hit the like button on the video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye!